Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So we were out with the Umarex MCP. I have never shot my MCP yet. My wife shot hers on her channel. Check it out, Susan Millard. Turns out she didn't Chrony hers. She did Chrony her 10 Foglio, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, so this is my first time actually shooting this gun, and we're going to do a Chrony. But we're going to do the Chrony first, and then we're going to shoot it and see what kind of accuracy we have. It's a little windy out here today, so I thought, why not just set it up in the shop? These things we already found out are good for about 15-20 feet away for as far as decent accuracy goes. And I am running Crosman Copperhead BBs. So I'm going to zoom in on the Chrony so you can see the numbers as we go. And we'll put about, I don't know, 6 shots through the sucker. And there we go. Nice big numbers for you. Hopefully that's still on screen. Yep, we're doing good. Alright. .430. Respectable. 431. 428, 429, 436, error. Okay. All right. There we go. Man, the bugs are out. You can tell summer's here. Alright, just do 2 more. Error 3. Where are we getting an error? .441. 442, 439. So we're running high 430s. That's pretty respectable. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the film here for a second, go set up a target, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys. So what I've done is I've moved the camera into the shop actually, and I'm gonna step out of the shop obviously. My shop's like 12 feet by 12 feet kind of deal. I'm just going to leave it zoomed in on the target so you guys can get a pretty good view right away, and then we'll go for a super close-up and let's see how accurate this gun is. Alright, we are out of bullets. Wow, I'd say not a bad little group. I even got 1 bullseye in there. A couple of the ones on the outside, that was more my problem than anything. But it is a bit of a heavy trigger on this gun. So let me just reload the clip and we'll see if we can get a little close to that bullseye. So far I'm pretty impressed with the gun. I think it's pretty good. Now one thing I did find actually on the Chrony part is if you give it that last little bit on the trigger and nail it a little quicker, the hammer gets a little bit more power at the back end of the valve. so you're going to have a little bit better constant, higher velocity. Okay, so let's try this again and see how much more of this target we can clear out, and see if the grouping stays fairly consistent. And we're out. Wow! You know, for a BB gun, this thing is really good. Really, really good. Okay, so I'm not going to cut the frame at all on this because I want you guys to see everything going on here. It gets rid of the skeptics too. So we're going to take this target with us. Let's just zoom out. And we're going to go outside in the nice bright light here. Sorry about that, guys. So this is what we got on a real nice bright close-up of what's going on with this gun. Now that's 15 feet away. That is really, really good grouping on that. I'm not complaining at all about that. I think that is actually really good. So we'll have to wait until another day when it's a little bit nicer. And I want to do it where there's virtually no wind, and we'll increase our range to about the usual 10 meters. But man, that is super impressive even for 15 feet. That's really good. Okay, so for the review section of this video, we're going to go in the house, and we're going to talk about this on camera in the house, away from all these yucky bugs. So instant for you guys. Alright guys, now this is an impressive target. In case you didn't get a really good look outside at the other camera. So this is two full rounds, pretty much. Yeah, actually it is, because I did reload the clip after the Chrony. So 2 full rounds of clips out of the MCP, or what do they call this? MCP, Umarex UX MCP. Anyways, that is super, super impressive for even a 15 feet. That's just really, really good accuracy, I think, out of this gun. It is a BB gun after all. BB guns are nowhere near as accurate as pellet guns. So considering this is a BB gun and at 15 feet, that's actually pretty good. Some of this, of course, on the outside was me, just because I'm not normally a pistol shooter. And, like I've said it many times before, but I think that's pretty good for pistol shooting. And, of course, I could probably get the groups a lot tighter with more practice. Like I said, I do want to try this thing out at 10 meters, which is going to be very difficult. Only because, these are pretty thick sights. So when you're looking at that even at 10 meters away, that's going to be really interesting for lineup, because 10 meters away, even this target gets pretty darn small. So yeah, that'll definitely be cool. So we do have a metal mag in this gun, and I believe it's like 16 or 18 shots or something like that it does. Anyways, it doesn't really matter in the end. It holds a lot of BBs. So it goes in there nice, tight, secure. It's actually a 2-stage input too, by the way. So stage 1 will bring you to here, and then stage 2 all the way up. So you got to remember all the way up, or yeah, you're not going to be shooting anything. For a plastic gun, it's actually not too bad. It's actually fairly thick plastic too, which is nice. I like the idea of the back grip exposing the CO2 bottle. It makes it for a little bit better, I think, quality-wise for a grip handle, by having the sides more secure, so this way you're not going to lose a side grip at all, right? And if for some reason even this notch ever did give out on you at the back, you still have it hinged on here, so it would be easy to just, even hold it closed in your hand. Where you lose a side grip, that's going to be a bit of a problem, right? Unless you can get a replacement. But Now, I don't know how Umarex works with replacement parts. I'd have to really look into that myself, but it's not a gun that you want to leave gas in long term. A day or two or three tops, not going to hurt anything. Anything much longer than that, and what you're going to run into is a few of the following problems, which happens actually with all CO2 guns to start with, is your bottle that you're using is going to make an impression on that seal that could become permanent. So when you use a different type of CO2 bottle, it could cause a leak to happen. So, you know, if you run out of your normal and you got to go get the emergency stash from some store, it's definitely going to not have the same headpiece on it as what you had on the last brand. So, you know, you got to really kind of pick your brands and stock up on stuff, right? Like we try and stock up as much as we can on CO2 gas, mainly because my wife shoots air guns as well. Her guns right now are all CO2. And of course I have a lot of CO2 pistols and rifles, so gotta have lots of gas around. And we are experimenting right now with different gas for different guns too, because sometimes our local Canadian Tire runs out, and it'd be nice to be able to go to Home Hardware and get their stuff, or you know, go to some other store and get that stuff, or order online. But we got to be selective on the guns we use that stuff in. But even some of that stuff alone can already make an impression on your seal right at the first bottle. So some seals are more sensitive to others. The seal that is actually in this one here is definitely going to be one of those sensitive seals. You know, so that's one thing you gotta be careful of. But by just having it in there for a quick shooting session, taking it out, likelihood is you might not make any kind of a permanent impression on the seal on this gun. So it's hard to say without changing over something different, but we'll see in time what happens. Anyway, the other reason why you don't want to leave CO2 in a lot of air guns nowadays, and I do mean a lot of them, is because you will get warnings saying, you know, not more than a few days or a week or two, but not for the long term, because it could cause damage to the seals of the valve. They are absolutely correct. I've had two PPKs explode on me, where the valves just, and it was like, holy wow. And all they were doing is sitting with, like, you know, not even a full bottle of gas in them. There may be half or 3/4 of a bottle of gas, and but it was enough pressure that they did explode. So we learned after that, don't do that. So take them out. So with all my guns now, including my 1077 rifle, I am actually not going to leave gas in any of my guns. And it's a good test to see about longevity of valves and seals versus the old way of doing things. However, you can still leave gas indefinitely in guns like your QB78s, your Crosman 160, same gun, 2240s, 2250, 2260, those type of guns. Not a big deal, leave CO2 gas in them all the time. Anyways, back to this though. We do have a Weaver Picatinny rail on the bottom, so you can mount an optic like a laser or a flashlight, for example. You could do that. But fixed front and rear sights, so there's no adjustment. It's factory setup, and I think they did actually a really good job of the setup on this gun. Even the crown on the barrel straightness, it's really good. When you're looking at the barrel, you can see that it is recessed a bit, so you know you've got some distance there before your BB actually comes out of there, and that's good. And you can see that the entire diameter of the barrel of the outside edge, the majority of it anyways, is viewable, so it's really, you can also tell that it's also really well centered as well, so that's also a good thing. Power is great. I was impressed with the numbers on this, like high 430s, 440s. That's pretty darn good. So that's pretty impressive. That'll be nice to see. Now, I did check my wife's channel. Apparently she did not Chrony hers, so she will have a Chrony video eventually when she gets to it. So keep an eye out for that on her channel, which is Susan Millard. She has her own gun like this, and definitely a cool gun. Well worth the $50 a piece. They're normally like $60 a piece, and they were on for $50. That's what we paid for these, eh? $50 a piece. Sue? What? We paid like $50 a piece for those MCPs, right? Yes. That's what I thought. So, there you go. So they were $50 a piece, regular $60 a piece. even at 60 bucks, that's a lot of fun for 60 bucks, you know. I definitely think they are worth the $60 value there. I would say as far as, you know, accuracy goes, it gets better with practice. So if you're getting some pretty crummy accuracy at first, that's on you. You know, you have to learn the gun. One of the things I did learn about this gun too, even shooting it over the Chrony, was when you're pulling back, this acts kind of like almost like a two-stage in a way. You've got a lot of pull there before the actual release takes place, and you can hear the hammer click right there. So you have a bit of space, and then boom, okay? So if you let it creep and then give it and hold it really steady and just nail it a little quicker on that final release, you're going to get a lot more power out of it. Okay, so your hammer is going to hit a little harder on the release. Because if you just go really slow, you can hear the difference, which makes a difference in power output. And of course, shot count as well, right? But we want the most power. Anyways, but yeah, I think size-wise, it's pretty cool. You know, it's not an overly huge gun either, you know, which is not bad. No blowback, no working hammer, no big deal. Safety is just flick it forward for safe, pull it back for the first you gotta pull it back for fire. So safe, fire. Anyways, as far as star rating goes on this gun, I'm probably pretty comfortable at putting this thing at a I don't know, I'd say a good this is where I have a hard time making up my mind sometimes. It's like, what does it really deserve? I have to do it for what it is too, right? It does have a long throw on the trigger. Not going to be the best thing for kids with small hands, that's for sure. So if you're thinking about for the kid, but they can pull it, so wouldn't be too much of a problem. It is a bit of a heavy pull though. You got to keep that in mind. I don't know. I think overall, I think I'm pretty comfortable putting this at a 4 out of 5. I like the metal mag. You know, the thing will probably last you for longer than the gun will last. You know what I mean? It's nice little lockdown. Flick it from the bottom. Away you go. It does say .177. That's not pellets. That's BBs. Keep that in mind. This is a BB gun, not a pellet gun. Oh, one thing we did notice. Now here's the bad points. Bad points to this gun, all right, is it is got a bit of a heavy pull, so it's kind of like a minor thing, right? One thing that concerns us, but we've run across this so far in all of our guns, the two that are the same as this and our Tenfoglios, is when you load the clip, once it's up there, leave it there, because if you disengage the clip, you're going to lose a BB out of there. So I guess what happens, I think it may be more of a design thing though, is as soon as you put it up, it's got the first one ready and kind of chambered somehow, that it keeps it in place. But as soon as you push that button though, you will lose a BB out of your mag. So that was kind of a bit of a minor twing too. And it's not perfect. That's the thing, you know. But everything else is good about it. You know, it's decently built. You know, I think it's going to last a long, long time. Time, of course, will tell, like anything else. It is decently accurate. The design is good, you know. There's no kick. Well, there wouldn't be anyways. I mean, A, it's CO2, and B, there's no blowback here. It's got lots of power. That's the one really nice thing. It does have a lot of power in it for a BB gun. That's pretty impressive. Anyways, so overall, that's my findings. So you've had the Chrony test, you've had a shooting test. I will be doing more shooting videos with this. We're going to find some suitable targets to shoot at for BBs, and we'll have some competitions between me and the wife, I'm sure, and we'll see who can outshoot who or whatever type of thing, right? But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We got a lot more gun videos coming even over the course of the next week if everything shows up on time in the mail. And actually over the next couple weeks, because we have several things on their way in through the mail system. So it's going to be fun. All right, catch you later, guys.